Yay, yay, yay. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, everybody. Hi, it is Gina, and it is noon on Tuesday, and it is time for our holidaze episode. And when I say days, I mean holidays, I mean D-A-Z-E, because this is the time of year we all know is completely nutty. So today, I was just going to share some easy, cheesy holiday tips for you. Yay. When we're running around all crazy, I think it's just one of the easiest things to have ready at a moment's notice at an impromptu party is not a turkey. It's no, it's cheese. And cheese can go with your turkey, but please, 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 let's talk about the cheese. So today, cheese, thank you. We've got everyone represented joining me today, the cows, the goats, the sheep, all here today. I can tell, you can tell it's already the crazy holidays. All right, so let's cut to the chase. We're going to keep it short and sweet. Always, always, always during this holiday season, may I suggest you keep a drawer full of cheese. Why? Because you can just take the cheese and make a beautiful appetizer, something for dessert, a little hostess gift, anything you need, you can accomplish during these crazy holidays with cheese. So I kind of wanted to start with simple holiday tips for a cheese board. You have a friend that says, hey, I'd love to come over, have a party at your place on a Monday. And we'll say, you know what?
Name Pete?
It could be. Let's just say, if that happened, what could you do? You go bust into your cheese drawer and make a little cheese board. Tips for the cheese board. 3 cheeses to 5 cheeses max. Don't go more crazy than that. After that, you can't tell the difference anyway. It's just too much. So more is not always better. So let's stick to 3 to 5 choices of cheese. And of course, I would suggest a cow, goat, and a sheep is always a good way to go. If you're going to go to 4 and 5, why don't you do cow, goat, sheep, buffalo, and a blue? Something like that. So I say keep it to that amount of cheese, about 3 ounces per person. If you're thinking, oh my gosh, how much cheese do I need? Think of it that way. You got 10 people, you're going to want 30 ounces, 10 times 3. So you've got your cheeses, right? Let's say you're going to get, what are you going to do with those? Get the prettiest board or plate that you have and just lay them lovely in their wedges on the plate. This is the easiest thing you can do. Then all I want you to do is run into your fridge or into your pantry, find one thing savory and one thing that's sweet. When I say something savory, maybe you want mustard. That's always a good thing to put on a board. Maybe you've got some sort of like truffle paste or a tapenade, like an olive tapenade or a chutney, something like that. Grab that. That would be your savory side to go with the cheese, your savory accoutrement. I can't even speak today, savory accoutrement. Then I want you to get something sweet. That could be honey. You got some honey. What's your favorite jam? Everybody has extra jam in the fridge. I implore you to run to the fridge, grab your favorite. Doesn't matter which one, they all go great with the cheese. So you've got your cheeses, you've got your wedges laid out on the board, and then you've got something sweet, something savory. You can smear it on the board if you're feeling all chefy, or you could just put it in a little tub. Anything like that will do. So then you've got something to go with the beautiful cheeses. Then I suggest something crunchy. Nuts, of course, always come into play as an option. Corn nuts, people love, is another option. What else is kind of crunchy that would be good? Oh, once I use like Boston baked beans, you know, those burnt kind of peanuts. Super delicious with cheese. So find something crunchy. And I think that's why a lot of people like crackers with cheese, because you get that crunch. So then you've got everything covered. You have the makings of the perfect cheese board. If you really want it to fill in, to make it look beautiful, reach into your fridge. Maybe you've got some parsley. You've got some rosemary sprigs. In your garden, maybe you've got a garden, you've got some mint. Anything green like that, you can get a few little sprigs like that, throw it on the board. Looks beautiful and lovely. We've got a picture on that you can kind of see. Let's say you want some meats, charcuterie. That's a good one. Slice up just anything again that you might have. If you have little slices of ham, little slices of prosciutto, roll those up into little rolls, lay those on the plate. You have got yourself the perfect cheese board, and I can tell you that you can do this in 10, 15 minutes and put something together that's spectacular. So those are my tips for the cheese board. Now, you might ask, as someone asked, well, if I'm going to also bring wine to go with the cheese, what are my best choices? And I'm going to say, just in overall general terms, where you can't go wrong is on the red side, light Pinot Noir, something that's nice and fruity. That's going to go with most of the cheeses out there, which is really perfect. And then on the white side, white fans go for a Sauvignon Blanc. Again, can almost not go wrong. That crispness and acidity goes really great with creamy cheeses and the salt in the cheeses. So there you go. Keep Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Noir, 3 cheeses handy, and you've got yourself the perfect appetizer, the perfect treat, the perfect dinner snack for these crazy holidays. Okay? Any questions on a cheese board? Anyone? Turkey. Will it go with turkey? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And in fact, that's going to be, of course, one of my simple appetizers for Turkey Day is a board. But another one I think always keep handy too in the freezer is sheets of puff pastry. Puff pastry and cheese are magic together. This is better than peanut butter and jelly, is puff pastry. So this is what another one that you can really kind of do easy, but you could be really impressive to people, is take out your sheet of puff pastry, and get it on the counter to thaw. At the same time, take a cheese, and I would suggest a little single form cheese like a wheel of camembert. Perfect for this. Or a little chèvre, like a creton, something like that. While the puff pastry is defrosting, put the cheese in the freezer. This is my hot tip for baking cheese in puff pastry, is put the cheese in the freezer, okay? Let it be in there at least a half an hour. Like I said, you got to wait for the pastry to thaw anyway. So while that's happening, you're going to think, again, back into your refrigerator and go into the drawer and find out which jam or chutney or tapenade that you really love and that you're going to want to bake with this. So this is a 3-ingredient dish. Your puff pastry, your cheese, and then whatever topping you kind of want to put on there. Okay, so half hour goes by, your pastry's ready. You're going to take that cheese out. You're going to put that right in the center of the puff pastry, and you're going to top that wheel with whatever you chose, whatever favorite topping you have. For example, the other day, I used a garlic apple jam. Super delicious. I also, rummaging through my drawers, I had some pepitas. So again, to add a little crunch to the dish, I sprinkled those on top. And then I covered and wrapped the whole thing in the puff pastry. You can do it in any form you want. You can be all decorative. You cannot be decorative. You can just smash it all together just to enrobe the whole cheese in the pastry. Perfect. Then I suggest putting it in a little form dish, just in case it kind of explodes while it cooks or melts out of there. You want something to contain it, right? So put it in just a little pie pan, some sort of a dish with a rim, so that should that happen, you'll be covered. And again, since you froze the cheese a little bit beforehand, should keep it from running out of the puff pastry when it bakes. So there you go. You wrap that up. Your oven is probably already on because you might already be cooking something. Shove it in there, 350 degrees, say about a half an hour. You'll see it when the puff pastry is all golden. Pull it on out. Let it sit for just a minute or two because it's going to be steamy. It's going to be molten inside. And then you've got delicious, delicious appetizer. Puff pastry, remember, freeze the cheese first. It's going to bake a lot much better. Any questions on puff pastry, baking, anything like that? Nothing? Everybody's got it. Perfect. Okay, next tip is edible ornaments. So this is really, really good. Fun, kind of easy, and if you have kids have a blast with this as well. Fresh chèvre, we've all seen it at the store. The little tubes, it comes in like a little plastic tube. It's just fresh chèvre. We've got it at the shops. You can get all kinds, but get some fresh chèvre. And then, again, back to your pantry, go in there and maybe you've got cocoa powder. Maybe you've got candy sprinkles. Maybe you have chopped nuts. Maybe you have lemon peel. Anything like that is going to be what you're going to wrap around these little balls of chèvre. So you've got your fresh chèvre. You're going to roll it into little balls. And I'm going to put pictures of all this online too so you can see it. Just a little bite size, smaller than a golf ball, maybe ping pong ball size. That'd be my suggestion because you want to be able to pop these in your mouth. Maybe even smaller. Anyways, roll it into the little balls. Super fun.
Grape.
Like a grape. Yes, I would say a very good big grape. Roll the shove into grape-sized balls, and then all those little toppings that you found, in your cabinet. Garlic powder and salts. That kind of stuff works. Truffle salt's awesome. I can't even go on and on. Any flavor that you like. You can then take these little goat balls, I want to call them, and roll them into the topping. Yeah, goats love it when you roll their balls. So roll it, and you're going to get these little, I call them ornaments. They look like little Christmas ornaments. They're so, so pretty and super delicious. Crushed pistachios. Oh, just reminded me, that's another good one. Chives, delicious. I can't even go on. Rosemary, I can't go on. Anything works. But roll it into the little balls. Get a pretty little platter. Maybe you have a little piece of marble. Maybe you have a little piece of slate. Maybe you just have a wood board. And then just pop those on there. Little crusty baguette, and you've got delicious, fun appetizer, or something just to keep the kids busy for a while. Something that they can play with and they could eat afterwards. Really delicious. So edible ornaments. Super fun, you can get creative. Okay, so let's see. We've talked about a cheese board. If you've got cheese handy, you can always make one of those. Talked about puff pastry. Keep it handy. You can always bake something in the puff pastry. And then we talked about the edible chev ornaments. Delicious as well. And then finally, let's say after the party and you've got all these parties going on and you have a drawer full of random cheese bits. What are you going to do with them? You are not going to throw them away. You're going to make fondue because it's so easy to do. And actually, I got to say, people come in and say, I've got to have Gruyere, Emmentaler. We all know those for fondue. Those are delicious. Don't get me wrong. That's where fondue started with the Swiss cheeses. But I'll tell you what's going to make even a more kick-ass fondue, and that's to use anything that's left in your drawer. The other day in Del Mar, we did a little fondue party, and they literally used like an old piece of cheddar. And I want to say old because it was just kind of looking a little sad on its own. But in a fondue, that stuff melted, and it was fabulous. Trust me on this. Blue cheese, toss it in. If you liked those cheeses in their plain state, wait till you melt them in a fondue. Freaking delicious and super fun and easy. All you need then, melt the cheese, little wine. If you want to put nutmeg and get kind of fancy with that, you can certainly do it, but you don't have to. You can even melt it in beer. A lot of people prefer beer. Gives it a little more yeasty flavor. If you do that versus a little more fruity flavor, obviously, if you use the wine, but melt in whichever liquid that you want, and then a crusty baguette, and you're set. This is a great snack. It's a great dinner. Midnight, you're watching Elf for the 12th time, and you need a snack. Melt some cheese, dip it in. What a fun night. Santa loves it. I don't leave cookies on the table. I leave a pot of fondue on the table for Santa. And it's worked. So those, I'm going to tell you, are my kind of hottest big cheese tips for the holidays. Right? And it's getting exciting. And this is a super, super fun time of year. No stress. Cheese will take away all the stress you need. Just keep your drawer full. That's all I can recommend. Just really wanted to share that with you guys today. This is episode 33 this year. I can't believe how fast time goes of Noon on Tuesday. We are going to take December off for the holidays. Everyone's running crazy. We're going to relax a little bit. Then we're going to be back in 2018 with even more cheesy episodes. And we're going to add a little twist to all the episodes, make it even cheesier and more fun. So I hope you will tune back in come 2018. Wish you the best holiday season. Eat lots of great cheese. And ho, ho, ho. We'll see you in 2018. Ciao.